I am free with cold sovereignty dealing where will you go? Amor Mortem mia erit.
Surprisingly, that's a really nice moment. How would I describe it? I don't really know. You know, the reticence sounds like me. The reticence sounds like what I've been through, how I think. You know, I've tried to merge all the most influential songwriters and singers and what have you together to try to articulate what I'm thinking. Like, you know, if you listen, you'll hear elements of Terry Reid or Tool or Opeth or whatever in the music. You know, it's somber, it's acoustic. You know, I don't really, I think it probably goes without saying. But, I mean, it sounds, if I were going to describe it, it's the reticence sounds like the process of understanding. You know, as far as like guitar playing and things go, I'm really influenced by B.B. King and Al Di Meola and Carlos Santana and a lot of those guys that talk a lot about getting the most out of every note. That's why I tend to not try to do a whole lot of flashy stuff.
Okay, what is the title of this album?
Amor Mortem mia erit.
What does that mean?
Love will be the death of me.
Where will you go? You think it's true. He cares for you. Where will you go? Where will you go? How much do you now have to lose? Where will you go? Where will you go? What will I do?
If you could sum up the theme of this album in 3 words, what would it be?
Sum up this album in 3 words.
3 words.
That's a tough question. Let's see. Forgetting, thought, and freedom. Well, you know, for any musician, you know, the teacher in me will always say that, you know, you need to make sure that you're always practicing and trying to learn as much as you can, but also make sure you're playing your song. I know a lot of people who are really worried about, you know, especially coming from the metal scene, a lot of people are very worried about being the fastest, being the hardest, being the most brutal, or the rock scene having the best gimmick or the best this, you know. People are worried about the competitive aspects of this stuff, or the how do I, you know, what do I need to get myself sold. And, you know, if you're a true musician, you just need to worry about playing your song, whatever it is. You know, even if you really want to be the world's fastest, you know, shred guitarist, if you're supposed to be a, you know, rock singer or something like that, you just need to find that about yourself, and you need to never limit yourself. This one, I hope, is, you know, will perhaps help people that are not in the grip of depression, but rather want to kind of get out of it, or, you know, help people just sort of with issues of introspection, or, you know, people that are seeking self-understanding or self-awareness, or trying to deal with things or let go of things, whether it be someone who died or someone who betrayed you, or, you know, disappointment in life. You you know, it's those kinds of things. So hopefully this will be more of a quote unquote moving on album than the first one.
Treachery slips in through an open window. A fool, a toy am I. Sacrifices once in hand, now smolder. I hear laughing so far away. Again I'm here, so long. What morning can I do? None of it was true.
The songs span a couple years. Some of the songs, like Painless, are a couple years old. Other ones, like Slow of Despond, are very recently written. They're all reflect, me getting through something. Some of them are about losing people, some of them are about trying to come to grips with something, but I guess what made me choose all these particular songs as opposed to some of the other ones I have in the wings is the overarching theme. I think, at least lyrically and maybe conceptually, is just the need and desire to let go of things, the need and desire to want to forget about things and to move on. The first CD was really an exploration of
pursued the reticence so passionately.
Well, I started writing these songs. Actually, a couple of these songs are older than the Torture Cell. Some of the songs are older than Werewolf is. I started playing with the Torture Cell back in 2002 or so, and excuse me. And I've played in metal bands and death metal bands, black metal bands, all this heavy, intense stuff for close to 10 years now. Actually, a little over 10 years. And during that time, I found there were things that I came in contact in life, or came into contact with in life rather, that were things that metal wasn't able to help me come to grips with. I had several friends of mine die. Some died as a result of an accident, some killed themselves, some did all sorts of horrible things. I've had my own spats with severe self-loathing and not wanting to live and all those kinds of things, and just hardships in life that you don't think about, that writing and screaming about blasphemy or let's kill everybody just isn't gonna satisfy. And so I started writing these other songs just sort of in the closet, so to speak. I didn't share them with anybody until a couple years after I'd written a couple, and some very pushy friends of mine said, "Oh, you've got to share this with the world. This stuff is wonderful." After a lot of prodding, I finally said, "Okay, I'm gonna show it to some people," and I eventually got enough people telling me, there was something there to say, okay, well, I'm gonna do something with it. And the reticent, the reticent is me. It's a part of me. It is that silent, quiet part of me that's trying to deal with things that I don't, when somebody listens to these albums, these are diary entries, these are confessions, and these are things that I can't talk about.